Hey, it's Dorr.
I'm Myles.
And in this week's Force on Force video, we got something a little bit different for you. When you come to one of our Force on Force classes, obviously safety is number one, but training, we take training very seriously, and it's important to have fun. It's important to be relaxed. When you're having fun, you're gonna learn the most and you're gonna be at your best. So keeping with that, at the end of the day, at the end of the training course, we threw something a little bit different in for you. We went ahead with the one-on-ones.
So typically a Force on Force class is all about realistic scenarios, but as Dorr was mentioning, we wanted to have a little fun, and so we had this Force on Force class this past weekend, and what we decided to do was just have students go one-on-one, a little bit of an exercise, kind of like paintball and airsoft. So there's no real tactics or lessons here. They're just having fun. But what we thought was, might be, because we haven't seen this since the class and we didn't really pay attention to all the little details. Again, they're just having fun. But we thought it would be interesting and fun to watch the videos right now live. We haven't broke these down or anything like that, and see if anyone did something massively crazy or if there was anything of value at all. So we're gonna watch each video one by one, and it worked out. I think there was 12 students, and basically it was kind of tournament style. Winner went up in the brackets, and then there was a championship match. So we're gonna dive into the videos and just have a little fun with it.
Just for a little context, we're here on the pistol range. The two guys squaring off head to head started on either side of the Suburban. How close they wanted to be to it was up to them. But really, the only cover is the Suburban itself. So it makes for some pretty interesting back and forths.
And also regarding the car here, we do know, people can shoot through windows, some bullets go through car doors. Again, this is just them having fun. So this is something where they're not trying to shoot through the car and things like that. Some of them did, but again, they're not going to get, no one's going to get hit on the other side. So just keep that in mind as well. So we're going to start this up and just kind of see where it takes us. We're going to play the video. And I mean, again, they're just going at it. So one person rounded the car. We saw another student fall to the ground. Yeah. What do you think about falling to the ground?
If you're going to commit to laying on the ground, you better know where that guy is, because by the time he laid down on his side, which is a lot harder to get up from, his opponent had circled around the side of the truck and just cleaned his clock. I mean, it was over right then and there.
So just something to think about there. You want to be mobile in certain situations. So they just went at it at the very end. So let's take a look at what happened with the next pair. Okay, so here we are setting up for the second run.
You feel exposed when you're standing on top of the Suburban in these situations. You got...
Don't worry, you got your groin guard.
Yeah,
you're good.
Yeah. I kept the PPE.
Well, here, I'm going to pause this for a second. What happened there was we had the student in gray. He was able to engage the guy from far away. So that was a long shot, especially with sim rounds. That's a long shot, and actually nailed him there. I don't know, is that something like in real, I know this is just play, but realistically, would you stay away? Would you get cover?
If there is cover, seek cover. If you're standing out in the open, the guy that got shot kind of out in the open, the shooter was able to close the distance and then wrap around the car and take shots. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You're receiving fire, you definitely want to find cover as fast as possible. Yeah. And just standing still, the only thing worse than being in the open is standing still in the open. And I think this guy just proved our point.
All right, here's the third round. One moves to cover right away.
Yep. Back and forth, hide and seek, taking shots, fully exposed, and he pulls it off.
He got a hit.
Yeah.
So what happened there is the student in the dark sweater nailed the guy. Yeah. And I believe that was a headshot, if I recall correctly. But that was, I don't think there's no, at that distance, it's just luck.
No, can't sweat the technique. He came out on top.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next run here. Okay, so this is the fourth run. See both close in to the Suburban there.
Oh, dropped his mag. Don't do that. He doesn't even realize he's dropped his mag. Yeah. The Force on Force gloves are pretty girthy. So if you're not used to wearing gloves, you need to really pay attention to what you're doing with your hands, because Dragging them along the slide can cause them to jam, as well as accidentally dropping the magazine.
But a valuable point though that we can get from this is that some people, when in the heat of the moment, and this is just play, you don't even know what's happening with your firearm. So the mag dropped, yet you just kept on going, and then probably realized after nothing was shooting anymore. So that ended that scenario. Obviously, the person with actual sim rounds got to win there, got shots off. What you looking at, Dorr? What you looking up in the sky?
What's going on up there?
Yeah, we were looking at the birds.
Bird signs?
Yeah, birds. Okay.
I'm trying to decide who's going to win this next one based on bird signs.
All right, so
it's a tried and true ancient technique.
All right, on to the next round.
Yeah.
Here's the next round.
All right.
Whoa, fast shooting there. What's going on here?
This is Tony. Came to us all the way from
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah. Great, good shot. Yeah.
He's got Chicago Bulls on his shoes. This makes him fast, light. Maybe he'll even take flight.
So notice one thing here, guys. I'm going to pause it for a second. You'll notice that even though this is played, there is something of value. This is not just necessarily in this scenario, but everywhere. Yeah. Notice how we're going to play the video again. Notice how a lot of them, at this close distance, they're always putting the pistol down, right? Not necessarily needed in a lot of cases. So if you know someone's there, you could keep your sights up.
Yeah, if you're that close to taking shots, be as close as you can be to taking those shots, which is fully extended on your sights, slack out, ready to go.
All right, let's see what happens here. Going back and forth. And I don't know if if they run out of ammo or someone gets hit. So who won here? I don't know. I think actually Tony got a shot off. I believe that's what happened. And so and they ran out of ammo. So that was my mistake. Actually, it was a draw because they both ran out of ammo. And what we did is you treated it like the Wild Wild West. So the winner, I think it was like 7 yards, back to back, one shot each, and whoever got the first shot won. That was basically it, or wins, right? So in this case, I believe it was Tony from Chicago. Let's see. Not one shot. I think we gave them more than one shot. I can't even recall.
They traded out, and now they're dueling to the death.
Yeah, and they can't move.
Which is the only gentlemanly thing to do at this point.
This is Wild Wild West here, right?
Yeah. Can be civilized.
There we go. And yeah, Tony did win that one.
Should have given him one shot.
Yeah.
He mag dumped on him.
All right, so let's move on. Next round. Oh. And is that Joe? I think that's Joe. So this one here, we had a student, let's back it up. He was clearly injured, so he was already at a big disadvantage. Looking here, I feel sorry for him, he hurt his knee.
Yeah, but he's a trooper, he's sticking with it.
Yeah. And then we had that's Joe. So he had one of our role players, and he just lit him up. So
he was our wild card. We had an odd number of guys, so we threw him in. It's kind of that wild card bracket.
Okay, on to the next round here. I think these were winners. Maybe not, maybe one more. Oh, whoa. That was a long shot. Let's go back. Yeah, single shot. I'm moving best back. Single shot from all the way there.
He's gonna shoot you right now.
Boom, right there, and got him before he could get to cover. Wow.
Great shot.
That's a great shot, and again, with sim rounds, you never can tell at that distance. I don't know, that was probably like a 20, 25-yard shot. Crazy. And so we have two other winners who advanced. There was a sim round that almost hit the spectators there. Although they're all wearing their iPro.
Yeah. A must.
Yeah. So, so apparently the student in gray, I believe that's Connor, was facing Rich. I remember their names. He actually won, so he did get a shot off. I couldn't really see that from the video. But here's a quick question. I know this is just an exercise. In this case, if you realistically, it's not a real situation, but if somebody is already at cover, would you actually advance or kind of stay? Because I mean, again, you wouldn't want to be in the open. If you were the guy on the left, would you actually close into the car? Yeah, well, the guy on the left is actually the guy with cover. The engine block, the axles, the wheels. Yeah. So yes, I would use my tactical advantage having cover against this guy, because I would just start ripping rounds right through the vehicle into him. Got it. Yeah. And again, this is just force on force, guys. But yeah, for the sake of the force on force, paintball fun time, try to keep track of them. But
you want to minimize yourself, protruding out from cover. That's why you practice with barricades, is so you're presenting the absolute minimum amount of your person, but still effectively able to take shots on your foe. So, running completely out into cover, not so good.
All right, let's look at Tony again, Mr. Chicago here, and see what happens on this semifinal run.
This is the part of the day where I became a little bit more involved in what was happening.
Oh, this is, I think this is the headshot. Yeah. This was the headshot. Let's rewind that. So look at this craziness right here. So we have Joe on the far right, Tony on the left, and look what happens. This is a headshot. And that shot actually landed. That was one shot. We got to look at that one more time. Look at that. This is one shot that Joe takes, and it hits Tony in the head.
Oh, he's dead.
So Tony loses, Joe wins. That's Joe crazy. Wins. That's crazy. And here's the other two students in the semifinals. They're going to start here in a second. There we go. Oh, and Connor does get him. Yeah. And you guys can see that it is fun too. These instances, right? Sometimes it's just whoever pops out first gets that quick sight and just shoots.
Sometimes, you give them anything, they're going to take that shot. It ends that fast. So the importance of seeking cover. Gunfighting, it's all about, angles, inches, and seconds. Mm-hmm. Those angles count, the big times. You've got the Suburban, use it. It's there for a reason.
All right, let's look at the finals now. So it was Mr. One Shot versus Connor, and let's see what happens. This one is interesting too. So I do remember this. Let's play this and see what happens.
Get that gun extended. There's no reason for it to be down that low ready. Be ready to go. I think we're gonna have to outlaw going under moving forward,
Well, let's watch that again. So what happened there, you guys can't see the student Connor in the gray get hit, but he actually did get hit in the shins, so we call it there. And that's a spectacular shot by Joe.
Yeah, he knocked out the semifinalist with an over-the-top shot, and then he takes the title with the under-the-truck shot. Knowing your environment, using your environment, and making it work tactically for you is awesome. It's outside the box thinking, and this is why he won. But I don't know.
Yeah. And again, this wraps up the little exercises or the fun rounds that the guys had at the class. But there were some learning points that we just saw from the video. One was think about going to the ground. Yeah. That could bite you. And two was as you also mentioned again, was getting that gun up. Was there anything else that maybe
you're that close? The fight is on. Have that weapon system all the way out. On your sights, slack out of the trigger, ready to go. Because if you're adding steps to taking that shot, you don't have time for that. It's too close. He's already ready. And you saw that in the footage. Guys were just taken out in a single first shot. That's definitely something to think about. When it's on, it's on.
So when it comes to force-on-force training, it is the most realistic training you can get out there, but it is also important to have fun. So we did run a lot of serious scenarios based on realistic events that happened. But here too, despite having fun, it's possible to learn some things from it as well. So hope you guys like that video. It's just, we're changing gears here, and because, the students had a lot of fun doing it, we thought we might as well share it with you guys as well.
Yeah, so, at the end of the day, it is about the training. It is about training safe and training smart, but, anything you can do to make sure you're having fun is definitely important. If you're enjoying the training, you're going to get the most out of it. So definitely try to make that happen anytime you do train. So if you like the video, guys, go ahead and give us a like. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. This is Dorr.
I'm Myles.
And we'll see you next time.